Welcome to the Law Firm Marketing Minute, your source of internet marketing inspiration.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the Law Firm Marketing Minute. I'm your host, John Henson, and this week, giving you guys some inside baseball, I guess was the one term. I don't like how that sounds, but that's just one of the ways you can describe it. Look, like as a marketing company, there are a lot of tactics, for lack of a better term, that we can use in order to spur people to take action. The unfortunate part of that is that I think a lot of marketers get really lazy and overuse a lot of these things. For example, I watched the new South Park special, the post-COVID special, last week. And one of the running jokes that they had in there was that everything was, like it was like Holiday Inn Plus or, Denny's, Applebee's Max. It's like this idea that this thing is enhanced or improved, and it's supposed to be better when it's just the same thing. It's a lazy rebrand or whatever. And that's one of the things that just gets overused to make people think that something's different. And, maybe it gets you to try it back out again in the hopes that you kind of become a recurring customer or something like that. But, that one's overused. One of the things that I see a lot, and there's another marketing company that markets to lawyers that I follow. And they do just a lot of webinar series. They don't call them webinars. I think they call them like summits or symposiums or something like that. It's a webinar. And what I noticed that they do is they say things like, they'll send out an email that advertises it or whatever, and it's going to be like, oh, we have limited space. First of all, that's not true. Anyone who's using a webinar platform that only allows like a certain number of spaces, and when I say a certain number, I mean like a couple hundred. Like I think Zoom's webinar, is like several hundred to 1,000 is the limit. No one's doing 1,000-person webinar. They're just not. But like they'll say something like, oh, there's only, this number of seats, and it's that scarcity, that limited tactic that I think is really being overused. It's really frustrating because, obviously I know this because I'm in that world, and to me, I think there's an ethical dilemma that I personally struggle with, where it's like, I don't want to be deceptive. And in the marketing world, it's very easy to do. It's very easy to construct words and messages carefully to ultimately that could potentially be perceived as deceiving people to get them to buy your product or whatever action you want them to take. But what I see a lot, and what this company will do is like, they'll send out that first email. Oh, there's, a certain limited number of seats. Then a couple of days later, they'll send out another email, and you've probably seen this. It's, we had such a huge, number of people. We had an overwhelming response to this webinar that we've pulled some strings and we've magically opened up, 100 more seats, or there are exactly 32 seats available. And once those are filled, this opportunity is gone. It's not true. It's just not true. They may set a limit to the number of people that they will have a webinar with, but if they do, that's pretty stupid. The idea of exclusivity and limited space is just a tactic to get you in. And honestly, that works for some personality types. I don't think it works across the board. I think it works for those people who have that, FOMO personality type who feel like they need to be a part of everything. They don't want to miss a potential opportunity. But I think for most people, if you're interested in it, you're going to sign up regardless of any sort of call to action. But like, even if they try the exclusivity tactic, it's not really going to work. The only real marketing tactic, and I can say this with honesty, because this is my experience. The only real marketing tactic that is going to be 100% honest is time based. Maybe a company is running a promotion for a certain amount of time. And, it's like, oh, you have 1 week left. Oh, you have 2 days left. And once the end of the month comes, this is going away forever. And it could very well be the case. Now, that company may bring it back. They may be planning on bringing it back later down the road, but in most cases, there's other promotions on the horizon that they're going to do. This is just the thing that they're doing right now. And a lot of times those promotions are centered around maybe signing a certain number of clients, maybe getting a certain number of calls booked, maybe getting a certain number of leads, whatever the case is. And, so those sorts of things. And I can tell you right now, like we're doing that right now. This month, our $30,000 marketing makeover promotion, our giveaway that we're doing for our 10-year anniversary, that's ending at the end of this month. And I can say with a good amount of certainty that we're not going to do it again. It may, we may do a whole other VIP sort of experience later down the road, but it won't look like this, So we set a hard date. December 31st is the last day people can enter. And then we're doing the drawing in the first couple of weeks in January. And we're going to say that in the promotions and the emails and the social media posts that we send out about it. And that's fine. I don't think there's anything deceptive with that because, that's exactly what we're doing. I will tell you that in the event you ever see somebody say like, oh, we had such a great response that we're extending this promotion by 24 hours, or we're extending this by 36 or 48 hours, whatever it is, it's likely because they didn't quite hit their goal, but they're close and they really want to hit that goal. So, and again, it's stuff to watch out for. Don't get fooled by it. Don't get tricked into thinking that you're getting special treatment or that things are way better than they really seem, or that, you're missing a huge opportunity. All of these are just marketing tactics designed to get people in the door, so to speak. And it's stuff that you can do in your firm as well. You guys, you and your firm, especially if you have some one-off products or services, obviously it doesn't work for like a family lawyer where, that'd be a weird promotion to run, where if you're like, hey, now through the end of the year, divorces are 50% off of our rate. Like it probably doesn't look great, but if you have, I know business lawyers who have like a DIY business kit, estate planning lawyers can do, estate plan checkups or audits or things like that, various little services that you can provide, that you can promote, that you can, try out some of these tactics on. I would just, from an ethical standpoint, just be honest about it. If you're going to hold a workshop or a webinar, like maybe you're going to host a workshop in your office and you really do only want 20 people there, that's fine, because especially in COVID world, or if you're going to provide food, like you want to be able to have just like the right amount. And that's totally fine. If you're going to do a webinar though, don't say you got limited space. It doesn't work. All right. And look, I'm not saying that we're completely innocent of all this. We've done a lot of these tactics as well, but we've learned, and that's the beauty of all this is I can say like, this is what we've done. We've learned from these things. It's not the best strategy. It's something you can have in your back pocket. You can pull out from time to time, maybe get some of that low hanging fruit if you need it. But yeah, I think for me personally, I struggle with that on an ethical side of things. But also, and that's why I'm doing this episode like that this week, because I want you guys to be aware of it. And maybe you don't care, and that's fine. But I think it's good to get the context and the scope of understanding for why marketing companies, or even just companies in general, try these sorts of marketing tactics. So that's it. Hope that's helpful. I think, there are all other kinds of marketing tactics. We've talked before a couple of weeks ago about the Google page speed test and the cold sales emails that people get and try to fill you with fear. That's another marketing tactic. But it's interesting. So if you guys have seen any other sort of, marketing tactics out there, let me know. I want to know how you guys feel about those sorts of things. Do you catch on to it really quickly? Does it annoy you? Or do you just see it for what it is? And, if you're interested in it, you are. If not, you just let it go. But I really do want to hear back from you guys. I really am interested in that sort of feedback and hearing your experiences and how you guys feel about it. So send me an email, John, JOHN @spotlightbranding.com, and let me know your thoughts on these sorts of things. I'm really curious to know what you guys think. So that's going to do it. Remember, the $30,000 marketing promo, it's ending at the end of this month. And I'm not lying. That's the deadline that we set, and that's it. Once it's gone, it's gone. If you are interested in getting entered, go to spotlightbranding.com/makeover to learn more about it, to learn what the grand prize winner is going to get, and how you can get entered. spotlightbranding.com/makeover. All right. Hope that's helpful for you guys. As always, we'll see you next week.
Thanks for joining us. Please visit lawfirmmarketingminute.com for more information. We'll see you next time.